Hi, welcome back to Baking with Josh and Ange.
Hi everybody, welcome back.
All right, we made it through the healthy month, so we're done with that now. No, it's not done. I mean, we're still gonna bring back healthy recipes eventually.
Yes.
You know, but for this recipe, we're going to take a break.
And make a sweet treat.
Yep.
Today's dish was my request because I love it and I was excited.
Yeah, she came up to me and was like, Josh, please make something with raspberries.
I
Please."
did! And it just so happens Josh's Uncle Gary makes his own preserves and gave us raspberry preserves.
Yeah, which we love, and especially Cade.
Oh, yeah.
He has a peanut butter and jelly sandwich pretty much every day, and I put the raspberry preserves on, and he loves it.
So, Uncle Gary, thank you. We are using you as inspiration today, but you don't have to make your own preserves.
No, you don't. You can just buy it from the store, and it's gonna taste great.
Anyway, Josh, what are we making today?
So today we're going to be making raspberry thumbprint cookies.
Woohoo!
Yes.
I can't wait.
And these cookies are very similar to shortbread cookies, but you have a little thumbprint inside and you fill it with your favorite filling, and today our favorite filling is raspberry. So here are the ingredients you'll need for the raspberry thumbprint cookies. 1 cup butter softened, 1/3 cup sugar, 1/3 cup brown sugar, 1 large egg yolk, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon almond extract, 2 1/4 cup flour, 2 teaspoons cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/3 cup raspberry preserves. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is to mix the dry ingredients together. Really easy. Add the cornstarch, the salt, mix it all together with the whisk. So now we're going to cream the butter. I normally would use a stand mixer.
But today, so we can show you guys, we're gonna use this.
Yes.
By the way, I didn't even mean to turn it on.
I was like, whoa, stop it. It is easier for us to demonstrate how to do it using the hand mixer, and you really can. It works the same, but it just might be a little bit more messy.
I also think it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. And just want to get it really, really creamy. If your butter's really softened correctly, it shouldn't take long to cream it. Sometimes it's hard to remember to soften your butter before a recipe though, so if you have to, you can put the butter in the microwave at half power, but you have to be really careful to not let it melt, okay? Because that will affect the recipe, especially for something like shortbread.
I do that all the time. I forget to put the butter out and then I microwave it and then mine never quite tastes the same.
It's true. So it's best to leave it out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
If you can remember. Next we're going to add the brown sugar and the white sugar. And then we're going to mix this together. You just want to make sure you get it all incorporated, scraping down the sides when necessary.
That was said very professionally.
Thank you.
Get it all incorporated, scraping down the sides when necessary.
Alright, you want to mix it up a little bit?
Sure. Yikes. Oh gosh.
Watch it there.
Sorry.
That's where a stand mixer would come in handy.
Alright, good?
Yep, perfect. Alright, so now we're going to add the egg yolk, the vanilla, and the almond extract. Mix this all together until it's nice and smooth. One thing about this dough is that it's a very dry dough. It gets very crumbly at the end when you last add the dry ingredients, so you might have to get your hands in there at the end to kind of mush it together. So you'll see, but it does taste good.
It does taste really good.
So we'll add half the dry ingredients.
Okay.
And I'll do the first mixing, I'll let you do the last mixing, okay? So you can see how dry and crumbly it is.
Okay.
Because the first pass, it'll look like just like a normal kind of dough. As you mix in more flour, you'll see that it gets very, very hard to mix together. And that's where a stand mixer might come in handy as well. But you can still do it. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
See, because that would be like the consistency of like a cookie, you know, like a chocolate chip cookie dough right there. So now we're gonna add the rest of the dry ingredients.
You start.
I'll start and then I'll let you kind of...
Over. I see why the stand mixer might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Because stuff is kind of flying out.
But you can really do it. It's not that hard. It's just a little bit more messy.
Growing up, my mom never had a stand mixer. We always used this. And then we loved it because at the end she would pop them off and we could lick whatever she was making.
Yeah. Not too much,
gosh.
too high. But you do see how dry it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is pretty crumbly, and so now it's time for us to get our hands in there.
Get in there, babe.
All right. So you just want to try and smush it all together into a big dough ball. And if it doesn't form into a dough ball, if it's still crumbly, then you can add a little bit of milk until it all forms together. But this looks pretty good.
Can I have the little scraps at the bottom?
Sure. Okay, so as you can see, this is like one big dough ball, and so the consistency is right for this. All right, now it's time for us to roll out our balls.
It's probably a good thing Jenna Fisher isn't here, because the last time we did this, there was a lot of, well, that's what she said.
And then roll the balls.
He's gonna roll the balls.
And roll the balls. Roll the balls.
By the way, the most that's what she said happens when you're on. Jenna's like, guys, it's not just me. Okay.
So, very easy. I like to use my cookie scoop. You don't really need one, but it's about a tablespoon, okay? This helps all the cookies be the same size.
Josh likes them all to look uniform.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're a baker.
Well, that's part of it, you know? It's like taste and presentation. I feel like are the two big things that you want. Get a little ball. You're gonna roll it, but first you wanna make sure to smush it, okay? This is the thing about this dough. If you want your cookies not to crack, you really gotta smush the dough really good to make sure it's all together before you start so it doesn't crumble.
Okay.
You wanna smush and you wanna roll more than you think you should, okay?
Okay.
So it's really, really, really all together. It'll still taste fine, like if you bake it, but it's all about presentation too. So then we're gonna roll this in the sugar.
Okay.
And these are called thumbprint cookies for a reason, okay? You can use your thumb to make a little, you know, indentation in it, but I prefer using a little teaspoon with the rounded bottom, and this just helps all the indentations look more uniform. Very gently push it down, not too far, and then
It
there
does
you
look
go.
really cute. It does
Right?
look kind of cute.
Yeah. All right, so let's do a few more, and then I'll let you try.
Yay!
All right,
And then I take it out.
and really smush it together.
Really smush it together.
Yep.
Okay.
And then just really roll it together. It's a nice little ball.
Rolling my balls.
Uh,
What? They will. I'm not good. I'm not good at rolling a ball. Jenna, that was for you.
uh.
That was for you, Jenna. Like that?
Yep. And
I
then,
think I rolled that pretty good.
then roll in the sugar.
Oh yeah.
You can use your thumb if you want.
No, because I think my fingernails, I think it will like go on my,
Yeah.
I won't like it.
There, not too far. Yep, that looks great. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.
I did it.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, so we'll just do the rest of these, and then we're going to put these cookies into the freezer for 30 minutes before we bake them. Why, you say, Angela?
Why, Josh?
There's two reasons, all right? When you bake them when they're chilled, they don't spread as much because the fat doesn't spread out as much. So the cookies keep their shape and they don't crack, okay?
There's like science in baking.
Yeah.
Science.
And the second reason is that it enhances the flavor of the cookie as well when the cookies are chilled. So the almond extract and the vanilla will really come out in the cookies. So we're gonna finish these cookies and then we'll put them in the freezer. All right, so these have been in the freezer for 30 minutes and now we're ready to put the raspberry filling in. Yay! Now with raspberry preserve, sometimes they can be a little thick. To thin it out, we're going to put it in the microwave for about 15 seconds.
And then you're gonna transfer them into your piping bag.
Yes, you can use a piping bag or a spoon if you don't have a piping bag or don't want to use one, that's fine too.
I would use a spoon because I wouldn't own one of these.
I prefer this because it's cleaner and it looks nicer. All right, so we thinned this out a little bit. Now it'll fill nicely and we'll put it into the piping bag.
And if I weren't here to hold the piping bag, you would just put it in a tall glass, right?
Oh yeah. I'd figure it out.
I'm just saying, like that's something, if I were watching this, I'd be like, well, what if I don't have someone to hold my piping bag? These are things I think about.
Yes, all right.
Smarty pants.
So just cut the very tip off and that way it'll be easy to see how much you're putting in. So you just fill them right up to the level of the indentation. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, just don't overfill them, all right?
Of course, Josh, his was perfect, of course.
You'll see, it's easy to do. All right, you try.
Okay,
Good job, babe.
thank you.
Yeah, it looks great.
So now these go in the oven?
Yes, all right, so these go in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. You just wanna check them around 10 minutes and see if the bottoms are starting to look golden brown, and that's when you know they're done, all right? You don't wanna overbake these.
Don't overbake them, people.
All right, so go ahead, put them in the oven, babe.
Okay. Or
There
you
we
put them
go.
in the oven.
I'll put them in the oven.
And I did notice you had wax paper on the pan.
Actually, I didn't. I had parchment paper. Because
Oh.
wax paper would be really bad for the oven. But
Okay,
yes,
okay. I did notice there was something on the pan.
Yes, parchment paper would be very good to use.
Do you use the parchment paper because it just comes off so easy?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. I mean, you could use it just on the baking sheet too, and it would come off. But I always use parchment paper because it's cleaner and then you don't mess up your pan.
There you go.
All right,
Don't
Cool.
use wax paper. Don't listen to me.
All right, we're letting those bake. Once the cookies are done baking, let them cool completely on the baking sheet if you choose to decorate.
All right, these Thumbprint cookies are great on their own, but if you want to make them fancy like Josh likes to,
You can add a glazed drizzle, which makes them look great and also adds a little bit of sweetness. All right, we're done. Raspberry dessert for you.
thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited about
Yes.
it.
Thank you, Uncle Gary, for the raspberry preserves.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good.
You know what these would be great for?
What?
Valentine's Day.
Ah,
Just
yeah.
saying, if you want to make, these for your sweetheart, a little sweet treat for
Thank
your
you, babe.
sweetheart, then these would be great.
I know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow. I'm horrible.
January
I'm
is
horrible.
done. Healthy choices are out the window.
Josh makes such healthy breakfasts for the kids, and then I when the kids aren't looking, I'm like, Thank you guys so much for stopping by our kitchen. We hope you're having a great year so far.
Yes, and stay tuned next week for something else.
We need to start planning ahead more.
Bye.
Bye. I like it because you crack yourself up. The important stuff comes later. You guys know, there's some dorky song in my head. Gonna whisk it, gonna whisk it.
You can add a little bit of milk and then, what?
Milk.
Milk.
Look, I just know I was looking through the comments and you guys also noticed that he says milk. And it made me feel affirmed. It made me feel good, so thank you. We teach you because we love you, babe.
I know, and I'm gonna get a complex about it.
You are not.
Yeah, I had nightmares about milk.
So we are making something with Uncle Gary's. Kitty, you just had a treat. Kitty, we are trying to make a video. You have to stop
She
meowing.
doesn't care.
Oreo does not care.